I can't believe you're doing this, I said, staring at the eviction notice she'd slapped on the kitchen table like it was a grocery list. Sarah, my girlfriend of 3 years, had just announced she was kicking me out of my own house, the one I'd bought with my inheritance, the one where she'd never paid a dime. But here's the twist she didn't see coming. The house wasn't just mine. My uncle, a retired judge, had helped me set up the deed in a way that made her scheme crumble before it even started. The absurdity hit me like a bad joke. How do you go from "I love you" to "get out" in one breath? We met at a coffee shop downtown, back when life felt simple. I was working as a software engineer, pulling in decent money, and Sarah was a barista with big dreams of starting her own boutique. "You're different," she told me on our first date, sipping her latte. "Not like the other guys." I fell for her energy, her laugh, the way she made even rainy days feel bright. "Let's move in together," she suggested after 6 months. "It'll be fun." We did, into the house I just purchased with the money my grandparents left me. It was a cozy 2-story in the suburbs, nothing fancy, but it had a backyard and room to grow. I handled the mortgage, utilities, everything. Because couples help each other out, right? "I'll pay you back when my business takes off," she promised, kissing my cheek. She contributed by cooking occasionally and keeping the place tidy, which seemed fair at the time. I never saw the red flags, like how she dodged talks about her finances or get defensive when I suggested she chip in. "I'm building something big, Mark. Trust me." Blindsided? Yeah, that's an understatement. I'd always been the reasonable one, the guy who plans ahead and avoids drama. My family raised me that way, loyal to a fault, but with boundaries. "Family first," my dad always said. Sarah knew about my close-knit relatives. She'd even met my uncle at holidays. "Your uncle's intimidating," she whispered once. "He's the kind of man who commands respect without raising his voice, a former judge who now consults on real estate law. Little did she know, he'd reviewed every document when I bought the house. Ironic, isn't it? I thought we were building a future. Turns out she was building a getaway plan. "We're in this together," I'd say. She'd nod, but her eyes would wander. It started with small things. Late nights at work, whispered phone calls, her suddenly obsessed with independence. "I need space sometimes," she snapped one night when I asked about her day. Then one evening, I came home to find her packing my stuff into boxes. "What's going on?" I asked, dropping my keys on the counter. She crossed her arms, smirking like she'd won the lottery. "This relationship isn't working, Mark. You're too controlling. I need space." Controlling? I paid for everything, but I stayed calm. "Okay, let's talk about it." "No talking. You're out. You can crash with your parents for a while." I blinked, processing. "This is my house, Sarah. I bought it before we met. Your name isn't on the deed." Her eyes narrowed. "Oh, really? We've lived here together for years. Common law marriage, honey. I looked it up. Half of everything is mine now, including this place. Pack up and go, or I'll call the cops and say you're harassing me." The verbal slap hit hard. She'd planned this, probably with advice from some shady online forum. "You're serious?" I asked, voice steady. "Dead serious? Get your shit and leave." She pointed to the boxes. "I already started for you." I felt the rage bubble up, but I swallowed it. "Interesting plan," I said calmly, turning away to pour myself a glass of water. She didn't know I'd already sensed something off and consulted my uncle weeks ago. "We'll see how that plays out," she laughed. "See? Controlling. Always thinking you're smarter." I didn't respond, just sipped my water, mind racing. I didn't yell, didn't throw things. Instead, I pulled out my phone and texted my uncle. "It's happening." He'd warned me about people like her, entitled types who mistake kindness for weakness. "Mark, protect yourself," he'd said during our last call. "Trusts exist for a reason." Turns out the house was in a family trust, something my grandparents set up to protect assets. My name was the only one on the title, and Uncle Ray had made sure any cohabitation claims wouldn't hold water in our state. No common law marriage here. We'd need an actual wedding for that. Sarah paced the living room, ranting about how she'd invested her time and deserved compensation. 3 years, Mark. I could have been somewhere else. "Somewhere else cheating?" I muttered under my breath, but loud enough. "What did you say?" "Nothing. Continue." I just nodded, letting her dig her hole deeper. "The hidden leverage? Not just the law. My brother works in the same building as her new friend. The guy she'd been seeing behind my back. Tom had seen them together, confirmed it. But I kept that card close for now. Restrained, I watched her confidence crack just a little when I said, "Let's see what a real lawyer thinks." "A lawyer? You're bluffing." "Am I?" I smiled faintly. Silent victory brewing. The next morning, I met with Uncle Ray at his office. He reviewed the situation in under 10 minutes. "No grounds for her claim," he said, adjusting his glasses. "She's bluffing on common law. Send her a formal notice to vacate. I'll draft it myself." "Thanks, Uncle Ray. I owe you." "You owe me nothing. Family looks out." By noon, I had a certified letter in hand stating she had 30 days to leave or face trespassing charges. I handed it to her that evening. "What the hell is this?" she snapped, ripping it open. "It's the law, Sarah. You're a guest here, not an owner." She laughed bitterly. "You think this scares me? I'll fight it. My lawyer says—" "You don't have a lawyer?" I interrupted mildly. "But go ahead." The color drained from her face as she read the trust details. "Read it carefully. It's airtight." "This is bullshit. Your family rigged this." "Rigged? It's legal. First domino down." I didn't say that last part out loud, but it felt good thinking it. Word spread fast. Our mutual friends started texting me, confused. "Sarah's saying you kicked her out for no reason," one wrote. "What's up?" I didn't respond with anger, just facts. I shared the deed screenshot with sensitive info blurred in our group chat. "She tried to take the house I paid for," I explained. "Here's proof it's mine. She cheated too." "Damn, Mark, that's low," a friend replied. "We had no idea." Her family got involved too. Her mom called me pleading. "Sarah's just upset. Can't you work it out? She's my baby girl." "I tried," I said, "but betrayal has consequences. She demanded the house, Mrs. Davis." "Oh, she didn't mean it. Young love and all." "Young love doesn't include affairs. Sorry." Friends confronted her at a gathering that weekend. I wasn't there, but Tom was. "How could you do that to Mark?" one asked. "He's a good guy." Sarah stammered excuses. "He was controlling, always with his family pulling strings." "Controlling? He paid for everything," Tom interjected. "You're entitled, Sarah." The tide turned. Isolation set in, second domino. A week later, she hadn't budged, so I called the non-emergency police line. 2 officers showed up, polite but firm. "Ma'am, we've reviewed the documents," one said, holding the trust papers. "This is Mr. Thompson's property. You need to leave." Sarah exploded. "This is bullshit. We're basically married. Tell them, Mark." I shook my head. "We're not." The cop shook his head. "Not in this state. Pack your things, miss." Uncle Ray had called ahead, vouching for the trust's legitimacy. "We can escort you out if needed." She huffed. "Fine, but this isn't over." Backed by authority, her outrage fizzled. Third domino, tumbling. She panicked then. Text flooded my phone. "Mark, please, I didn't mean it." "Let's talk." Then manipulation. "You're heartless. How can you do this to someone you loved?" I replied once. "You did this to yourself," then blocked her. But she showed up at my work, tears streaming. "Mark, I have nowhere to go, please." Coworkers stared. I escorted her out. "Leave, Sarah. This is embarrassing." "But I love you." "That guy was a mistake. Too bad. Failure after failure." Fourth domino crashing. Moving day came. I hired movers for her stuff, generous considering. She watched, fuming, as boxes went into a U-Haul. "You're enjoying this," she hissed. "Not really," I said. "But justice feels right." Her clothes, trinkets, even the couch she'd claimed, all out. "Sign here for receipt." "I hate you," she muttered, scribbling. She left with her car, which she owned, and a final glare. House empty of her chaos, fifth domino. Screenshots surfaced online. She'd posted rants on social media, calling me abusive. He manipulated me with his rich family. I countered with recordings from our security cam, her admitting the affair, demanding the house. "Listen to this," I posted in response. Friends shared it widely. "Entitled much?" Comments piled up. "Girl, you played yourself." Her job caught wind. Turns out her boss was a family friend of mine. No direct involvement, but the truth exposed her lies. "We can't have this drama," her boss told her, per a mutual contact. Reputation in tatters, sixth domino. I repainted the walls, turned the spare room into a home office. "Looks good," Tom said, helping with furniture. Life settled. I started dating again, cautiously. "Learned my lesson," I told him. Reflecting, I realized I dodged a bullet. The house felt like mine again, peaceful. Seventh domino, calm. Sometimes the best revenge is letting consequences do the work. Maturity beats malice every time. I'm grateful for the lesson. Trust, but verify. Justice served, closure achieved. But wait, Sarah wasn't done. A month later, the phone rang. Mark, it's Sarah. We need to talk. I paused. How'd you get this number? Doesn't matter. I miss you. I made a mistake. That guy was nothing. Dry humor kicked in. Nothing like the house you tried to steal? Let me come back just for a bit. I can pay rent this time. Pay rent? In my house? No. Goodbye. I hung up, but the nagging feeling grew. 2 days later, the lawsuit letter arrived. $50,000 for emotional distress. I called Uncle Ray. She's suing. Predictable. Frivolous. I'll handle the response. Appreciate it. Her social media blew up. He threw me out like trash. Justice for Sarah. Friends forwarded. She's delusional, one said. Update, the second attempt. She showed up at the door. Let me in, Mark. Leave. Recording rolling. We can fix this. Drop the lawsuit if you talk to me. Too late. Go. You owe me. I gave up everything for you. That's on you. She left, yelling. She called Tom. Talk to Mark. He's unfair. You cheated. Back off. She tried friends at a party. Help me get evidence against him. No way. You're toxic. Recorded, sent to me. Court day, Sarah with her lawyer. Your Honor, he promised me half. Evidence? No, but dismissed. Restraining order granted. Pay costs $2,500. No, I can't. Should have thought. Outside, Mark, please drop it. Too late. She violated the order with posts. Police warned. Job fired her. Drama too much. Boutique failed. Unreliable seller. Moved home, broke. Tried suing lawyer, lost again. Debt piled. Me, promoted. New girl, you're amazing, Mark. Life serene. Her try again, horrible fail. Justice doubled.
Thanks for listening. If you like what you heard, step into the story. Like, share, and subscribe to StoryPulse Studios, where imagination comes to life.